Hey, I hope you're having a great start to your day. I felt like I needed to come on here. We're getting ready to go to our church to decorate for Vacation Bible School, which is next week. My older two are at church camp at Falls Creek. If you're an Oklahoma person, you know all that means. And my youngest is in the other room watching Gumball, so don't judge on that. But there's so much more to say. We had such a great start in the conversation, and I am just so grateful that you responded in the way that you did. Thank you for not letting me hang out there with silence as I shared some of my junk, but I'm thankful that it resonated and connected with you. I'm sorry that you're struggling with it too, but I think it's so important if we can have an open conversation about the real stuff that we honestly will be able to explore and experience a life of joy and freedom, the very thing that God came to give us. So let's keep talking. I think we've hit on something. Let's keep talking about the burden of our mistakes and our failures and our striving to be perfect. Here's the thing about perfection and about not even wanting to see our mistakes or thinking that our mistakes are limiting God's movements. God never intended for us to live perfectly. He knows the truth that we can't. And we're the ones that are trying to fool ourselves in Him into thinking that we have a need and have to be perfect. So, as we are grappling with the reality and the implications of our failures, of our mistakes, we can breathe because He has come to set us free from that. Not just to save us and rescue us from sin, but the implications of our sin, the mistakes that we make and the burden that we feel in trying to overcompensate for that. One of my favorite verses in regards to freedom is Galatians 5:1. And I'm going to read it from God's word because often I paraphrase and I miss some of the beauties of God's word when it comes word for word. So it's Galatians 5:1, and it says, "It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm then, and do not let yourselves be burdened by the yoke of slavery." Burdened. And that's what we're talking about. Burdened by our sin, burdened by our mistakes, burdened by our failures. God said, stand firm and don't let that happen. But why? Why and how? Because He has come to set us free. So here's what it looks like for me. When I am faced with my mistakes, I can try to own that and condemn myself and then try to work harder to be better, to prove my worth in the Lord, to strive and either ignore those mistakes and keep pushing or wallow in my mistakes and feel like a scumbag. Here's the thing. God never intended for us to live in our own strength, to strive and reach His level of perfection. Jesus Christ came for you and for me to cover us in our very sin, in our imperfections, in our failings, in our mistakes. And because of Him, we are made perfect. The burden's not on us for perfection. And isn't that such a relief? I just think about that and think about so many times how I see my failings and my mistakes and I go, ugh, I got to do something better about that. When the answer is simply to admit to the Lord, to acknowledge it. God, I messed up and I'm in a perpetual habit of messing up in this area, whether it be anxiety or fear or anger or just operating from such a selfish or prideful place. Help me. I see it. I can't do anything about it. I need you. And it's in that space in which we let go of the burden of our sin and embrace and accept the freedom, the hope, the perfection that only Jesus can give. So I don't know where you are. I don't know if you look at your day, whether it's sunny or cloudy, and I'm looking at this sunny day, but I feel cloudy inside. I can until I embrace this truth. It is because of Jesus that I can live free and live with hope and live with joy. But I've got to be honest about admitting my mistakes and owning it and inviting Him into that place and asking Him for His help, for His perspective, and then be on a pursuit of seeking him first. And that's probably for another conversation, another time. But I pray that you will feel hopeful in this as you hear this, and know that I too just wrestle and struggle with this. But God is bigger, and he knows that we're mistake filled and imperfect. So we just need to own up to it and invite him in. I hope that is an encouragement to you. I'm going to go and decorate for VBS. I hope you have a great day, and let's walk in freedom.